Friday preview. I'm Matty,
Hello, I'm Colin.
And I'm John.
and we are looking ahead to Hibs trip to Aberdeen. Aberdeen obviously on the back of a 6-0 scudding, the first 6-0 scudding that Aberdeen have had since the last 6-0 scudding they got at the hands of which club, John?
Must have been Hibs.
It was the hands of
Was
Hibs.
that the day Goodwin got sacked? Aye. Is that the same
Aye.
day? That's not even that long ago then, eh?
Nah, there's many teams will have had like a top flight team will get a 6-0 hammering that close together.
Mm.
It's good.
Aye. I've seen a couple of funny tweets as well, but it is a worry. I mentioned it the other night. Oh, we're going to start. Well, I'll just start.
Just start, aye. Go for it.
When I mentioned it the other night, when we was on extra time, it would have been when we were doing the next four, and obviously expected them to get beat over there. I know Willie Miller didn't he? I seen on the BBC he was like predicting big things before the game and that. Worst pundit on the radio, eh? Like, well, is he? He's one of the worst. Like, there's quite a lot of this like fucking silly choose for. But the 6-0, I think I said if they get an absolute doing, that's one of them when they've got to come and do something.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's like if they just lost 2-1 last night or 2-0 or something, that it wouldn't have the pressure.
The thing is, they've had loads of them though. Like over how long was the shit run? They kind of had the 2 wins like recently, but that's like if you take out your recency bias thing where they had a couple of good results, they've just kind of limped from one shit result to the next for the best part of a year.
I know. They've not had many 6-0s like, but
no. Celtic put 6 past them as well. Actually, I forgot about that. That's 3.
Was that in the semi-final?
It was a cup game. I'm sure that was that was to nil as well, wasn't it? It wasn't like a 6-1. I'm sure that was a 6-9.
That was the one. That was about this time last year when they went because it'd been November because their run went on till November and then they went in the cup game and never really recovered for it, did they? I know. And the thing is, I did listen to the phone in last night, and I think it was other John saying if we can get a early goal, or I don't know if he said an early goal, but if we can win, they'll go toxic.
Aye.
I think I was thinking, I was walking the dog and I had it on, and I was like, if we can get a goal and go in the lead, but it's like, see if we can get an early goal, that place will go again. After a 6-0 and being how shite they've been for a year, a wee early goal would be lovely. Like that was just properly set their players on a. They came what's coming.
Aye. What were you thinking about the game, John?
I've been contemplating a couple of different things. I saw freelance podcaster Dave Graham was saying last night that we just need to go after them. And like I never watched the Aberdeen game. I saw the goals, but one of the things that stuck out for the goals that they conceded was that, well, kind of reflective of Dave's comments actually, which was I think if we use pace against them, they're going to struggle because or pace and directness. That seemed to be something that was their undoing last night. But also something that stuck out to me was I think one of I don't know if you'd call it a feature rather than a hallmark is Graham Shinney. I think he was playing like left back at some point. I don't know if he was playing left back last night or where he was playing, but his name came up. And I just thought to myself, let's just put like 2 players on him, like overload wherever it is that he's playing, because he seems to be toiling from as far back as, well, when we last played him at Easter Road. So in terms of the outcome of the game or how the game might pan out, I think we've got a really good chance. I said that before with David Gray's record against them. But hopefully last week, Hibs having the game that they did against Livingston, kind of ironing out the creases that we had, getting back to a more familiar lineup. Hopefully that puts us in good stead for Sunday. I'm a wee bit more optimistic now than I was before, in spite of that result that they had, because I don't think that they're going to come back. I think your point, Matty, there about like, are we kind of waiting for like an Aberdeen resurgence that isn't actually going to come?
I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Like, I mean, you can't write them off altogether. They're not that bad a team that you would say, oh, well, they've got any chance of winning. Of course, they they've got a chance of winning, and Hibs can't go up there expecting just to kind of come away with the points. We need to go up with the right attitude and everything. But I think if we go up with the right attitude, then the points are there for the taking. J Star said, "Hi all, if Nicky plays on Sunday and plays well, should he keep his place for Rangers as Gray doesn't normally play him against the bigger teams?" So we'll come on to team selection in a wee minute. That we'll talk about the lineup. I think it's my turn to pick this week, so I picked the lineup that I would go with on Sunday. So we'll discuss that. We'll talk about Nicky Cadden there. Lewis Patterson said, "Looking forward to the game on Sunday. I'm going to go 2-0 Hibs." And Kieran Gallagher said, "Was listening the other night. Why do we need to rest Hanley for one of these games coming up? He's only 33. I'm sure he knows to look after his body and get through both games." I tried to make that point.
I was wondering that as well, Matthew. Right? I was thinking, is it who started this sort of rumour? Like, did Hibs say anything officially on it?
I can't remember if
just make it up and folk have assumed it was right.
Gray dropped him for. I think it was maybe after the last time we played Rangers. I'm trying to remember the order of the games.
Falkirk in the midweek game, maybe.
Aye, and so he played one and know the other one. Scotland did it as well. Would have played him one, but
Scotland have been playing him one and know the next. Like they seem to change that. That seems to be.
Aye.
Like that. Well, maybe it's cause. Aye.
And then we've got. Do you know what? It was only because we had the 3 games in quick succession. I just put it out there as a question. It just kind of came into our head. I thought I'd ask it, but I almost tried to walk it back by saying, some of that was he hadn't had maybe the same pre-season as everybody else. He came into the club late, so he might be at a point now where, like, and I agree with Kieran, 33 is no old, and these days for footballers, no real reason why Grant Hanley couldn't have played the 3 games. I think it's centre half. It's a bit easier as well. It's not like he's like a fullback having to bomb up and down the wing the whole time. You know, he's
centre mid that's covering the whole. Yeah.
Assuming he is maybe feeling the miles and the legs at this stage of his career. What do you think a Scotland Hall of Famer does to look after their body during the week? Is it feet up? Is it just like light walks?
Yoga and tantric sex. That's what I would bet on. I bet he's like Sting.
Be adamant on that. It's in his rider.
Aye, definitely.
That's the thing. That's what they do. They do start doing, but like yoga and that, maybe not the tantric. I don't know. Maybe they do. They didn't really publicise it though. I think Giggs was big on the yoga. Don't know what else he got involved with.
Well,
but
his brother's missus, wasn't it?
But who was it? Who's the Spurs? Mind you, he was injured. Ledley King, mind he never trained all week. He used to just play on the weekend, and then his knees swelled up the fuck, and he just never trained all week again.
No, he did do a lot of stretching. It was a lot of work on the bike and in the pool and stuff. That was what
but he never trained. That's what I mean. He wasn't out in the grass all week.
I think I remember reading something that he was in on a Thursday. Like he went over the PowerPoints. That was him.
There's where you stand. There's where you go for a corner. Aye.
We're almost getting back to Latipi with his used carriage piano, and I'll play it levels of training now. UK Plays said, "Why not play Yuan instead of Nicky Cadden? Ellie can beat a player, although I don't know about his crossing ability." Just follow Yuan on Instagram.
No.
He's quite good. I don't really look at Instagram.
Nah, me either. Like we probably should be a bit better on Instagram than we are. Same with TikTok. I got that advice earlier as well for somebody that's like it's fair advice. We probably should post more on TikTok. But Ellie posts clips of training, and so you can see what he was doing. But he sort of posted clips where he did a good bit of dribbling and then either like missed the target or could have had a shit cross or whatever. I was like, show the ones where you've got a good outcome. Surely, if you're going to do that, maybe there wasn't. Aye. Would you play Yuan instead of Nicky Cadden, John?
No,
the answer's no, John. John, the answer's no.
I don't think I would start him. However, if I go back to my previous comments about pace and directness, I think there is a place for him in the squad.
Or up front would be the only place you would play him in that team. You couldn't have him playing in the left of midfield like that when he's got to get back as well. We were already questioning, shouldn't, like the guy, can't remember his name, sorry, that you said at the start, that questioning should Nicky Cadden play? Or will Nicky Cadden play based on previous? Because he doesn't get back as much as Abita would. So it's like Yuan in there, like we just get the left hand side up. Sorry if we go forward.
See, I wonder if that's a bit misleading because I was watching, because we had Nicky Cadden playing down the other side, I think in the first half call, I was paying a wee bit of attention to him. And he did get back. So I wonder if there's just this idea that that's
gets-
grown out of nothing that Nicky Cadden doesn't defend. I wonder if it's just
Aye.
that when we've conceded a couple of times, he's
He's been
looked
caught.
like that. Aye.
Aye.
I,
And
I
that's
think
why.
I think what it is a beta is the one who we play instead of Nicky Cadden, and the beta does more of the defensive stuff, but it doesn't mean Nicky can't do any of it. Do you know?
Yes.
So you notice it more with the beta, but
And
it
Canada's
does.
made of the going forward stuff.
Aye,
It's
but
just that it's that like you're getting more, but that's fine. Like they've got different strengths and different weaknesses, and it's not that like you say, it's not that he doesn't get back. It's just that he's either too far forward, so it takes him longer, or the guy's already maybe got half a yard on him because he's not anticipated it like a defender might.
right. Well, I'll talk you through the team that I picked.
Aye,
Go on then.
Right as
suppose.
well. Right. So no huge surprises in here, right? Only one change from Saturday's team. So in Salinger and goals, O'Hora, Hanley, and Iredale is back three. Cadden and Nadden on either side of the midfield too, who are Chaiwa and Mulligan. And I've gone for McGrath in the 10, and then Cleege and Bowie up top. So Barlas are dropping out for Chaiwa. I think it's maybe a bit harsh on Barlas. I thought he had a good game on Saturday, but I think Chaiwa is a better player, and I think we should play our better players, and so that's why I put him in. Thoughts?
Is he a better? Are you saying Chai was a better player in the same position, like in the same role, or are you just saying that he's a better player?
Just a better player, full stop, John.
It does feel a wee bit harsh, like Ballister. I think was he involved in two Hibs goals? Did he play in the pass for the penalty when Cliche was brought in?
Can't remember. He definitely did for the first goal.
He played the ball in, but I have to say, I think Cleege made that pass look better than the pass. The pass was just at the feet, quite a simple
Aye.
ball into him. And I thought Cleege made it look good rather than it being a great pass. Maybe I'm doing him a disservice there. You could toss a coin. Like, I didn't mind if Barlas had started, I wouldn't be going, oh, for fuck's sake, do you know, like, or thinking there'd been some huge mistake. But I thought when Chaiwa came on, he looked good. He contributed. I think he just gives us a bit more energy. And I think with Aberdeen on the back of 6-0 cuffing, where they did a lot of chasing, I think the more energy you can get on the pitch, the better. You want them to be like feeling that they've not got any time on the ball. They won't have players that are like harrying them, getting physical with them, just making life difficult. I think Chaiwa does that more than Barlaser does. So that was kind of my thinking for it. Colin, what about you? What do you think?
I don't know, I quite like Chaiwa. I thought Barlas had a good game at the weekend, though. I've no checked the stats and all that to say if they back that up, but I thought with my eyes he had a decent game. He was sort of breaking the play up, connecting the midfield with the attack and taking the ball off the defence, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if Chaiwa and or Milligan do that. I don't know if Chaiwa's competing with Milligan for that other place, or if like to go where John was going.
Aye, because I think
who is it he's replacing? Because, well, obviously in your team he's replacing Barlaser, but I wonder if they would see that as if Gray and his team see that. Is that the direct swap though? Like is he suited to that? And maybe as well, because I think Chai was like what I've seen him, he seems to be able to drive forward with the ball and all that, similar to Mulligan. So you've got two similar players in there, and you've got Nicky Cadden and Chris Cadden out wide, and it's almost like if they all do that, like if they're all bombing on, then I would think Barlaser, for what we've seen, and we're talking tiny amounts of games that these both have played, Barlaser might have more discipline to be deeper.
Aye, does Barlaser, like, he doesn't. So I'm thinking about Triantis last season and what role he played. Like, he didn't sit in defence. He would support the attack, but he would also drop in when necessary to help out the defence. Is that the role that someone like Barlaser can play now? Like, he links the midfield and the defence. Like, does Chaiwa do the same?
But I'm not sure Barlas is that flying player though. I think he'll come back to collect the ball, but I don't think he's a naturally defensive player. I'm sure when he described himself, he sort of saw himself more as an attacking midfielder. And
I don't mean like he's going to sit there and just sit and screen the back three. Just that he might, like his average pitch play wherever he is it might be he might sit deeper. And that doesn't mean he's sitting in front of the centre backs, but he's maybe in the circle in the what's that called? the fucking circle in the middle. Aye, the centre circle. That's it.
The circle in the middle.
I couldn't get it out. I'm like trying to describe it. He might sit in there, whereas Chaiwa might be 10, 15 yards further forward than that. At that square box, kind of at the other end.
And I think it's a good point because you've got when Grace made the substitutions at the weekend, Barlaser came off, Levitt went on, and Chaiwa I think went on for Mulligan from memory. So you're maybe right. Maybe they don't see them as like Mulligan and Chaiwa as the pairing, and we'll see. Like Kieran mentioned it on the YouTube comments. He's got to go with the same 11, bring in Chaiwa, Boyle, and Hoylett. And a beat off the bench is great options to have, and that's fair as well. But I think if you could say the same if it was Barlaser coming off the bench for Chaiwa, like they're both good options to have coming on.
Yeah. See, I wonder. Like I'm thinking about. I realise that the conversation is centred around one change that you would make, but I'm trying to think, like given the context of the game and Aberdeen's difficulties and our sort of change in fortunes in terms of the result last week. Like, who is the better player to start the game? Like Barlaser last week, I think, offered that. Like, I thought he was kind of like metronome, like left and right, back and forward. Like he always seemed to be available for a pass and to kind of like progress the play a little bit. Is that the player? Is Barlaser the right? There's the role that he played last week. Is that as well suited to playing against Aberdeen on Sunday, or is Chaiwa better suited? Like, did we say that? Like, what does Chaiwa do differently? What does he offer more or less than Barlaser? And which is the better fit in midfield for the opposition that we're up against? Because that's the challenge that David Gray has, like to try and find. Because I think there's obviously I think we're starting to build up towards a feeling of like we need to get after them, we need to get that early goal, we need to kind of see the game off early, put the pressure on, etc. But the damage I think that might cause is if you go out all out attack too early, you burn yourself out and you leave yourself open to late goals at the end of a half, end of a game.
Aye. So I think Aberdeen present a different dynamic to Livingston. Right? Their midfield is better than Livingston's, I would say. I would expect them to be engaging with their midfield more often than Livy's did on Saturday. I think to answer your question, I think the difference is the mobility and the energy that Chaiwa gives, and I think Chaiwa gets stuck in a bit more as well. Maybe we didn't need that. Maybe we just set up the exact same as we did on Saturday. Like I honestly didn't
really it's change for change.
Aye, there is an element of that, but also I think you want to try and get your best players on the pitch, and I think from what we've seen, and we haven't seen a great deal of either of them. In all fairness, I would probably nod towards Chaiwa over Barlaser, but
it's funny you say about Aberdeen's midfield being better than Livingston's, but there's a point between them in the bottom two spaces, albeit Livingston have conceded twice as many. So I don't know, like they might be better on paper, but they're not performing. Yeah. So do we go after them in the same way that we did Livingston? Do we play the same way?
We have to go after them, I think. And just keep making the point. By the way, they're horrific at the back. You could go with Clegy and Boyle. They'll be trying to play higher, and they too could kill them over the top. I think we will exploit their deficiencies, I think, and you want to have fast players at the top. Right, we're almost out of time, and it is about this time on a Friday that I like to get a wee word of wisdom from Professor Fitball. So, Professor Fitball, what have you got for us today?
I'll just want to say you can pin that up in the dressing room wall.
Nice one. Okay, right, let's get score predictions in. Colin, what's the score going to be?
2-1 Hibs.
2-1 Hibs. John?
2-0 Hibs.
2 Hibs. It feels like we've talked about the kind of component games, big games, must wins, and all the rest. I didn't feel like this one feels like a must win or anything, but I think it's one of these ones. If we get the win, we open like a good gap on Aberdeen. With their 2 wins, they kind of closed the gap on us a wee bit, and there was a bit of talk about if they win, they're only a couple of points behind us. I think this is one that we go get a foot in their throat, keep it there, come away with the 3 points, and then sort of leave them in our rear view mirror. Okay, I'm going to go 2-0 Hibs. I think it'll be a comfortable one. And we'll keep
Early goal would be great, like just to get the atmosphere nice and spicy.
Aye, 100%.
They still getting big crowds, or is that tailing off now?
I think there's still decent crowd. John, were you going to say something there?
I was thinking about your driving analogy, the rear view mirror, and I was wondering, like, if Hibs do get the victory up there, I think it's a good victory because we don't tend to get many up there. Do you stop off somewhere on the way home for a wee treat, a wee bus snack?
They'll definitely stop for a chippy or something on the way back down the road and get some beers on the Tesco Express or something.
I need to get a car recharge before I come back down the road. So they'll get
the
there
team
and back.
bus.
Oh, you have a team bus? I'd definitely get a wee treat on the way back. Definitely. Anyway, right, that's us. We'll wrap up. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and for your comments. We'll be back on Sunday to talk about the game, so watch out for the tweet asking for talking points. And if you didn't see that, just join us live when we're recording and you can fire them into the comments. If you're a subscriber, in fact, if you're registered on a Patreon, you would have had the banger that went out this morning. Brilliant edition this week, some great stuff in it. And subscribers will get extra content as well, so check out our Patreon. Right, see you later. Churro, bye, etc.